up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? Today, I've got a really cool place for you guys. This one was built way back in the 1950s, and it looks like it's been sitting abandoned now for about 9 or 10 years. The place I'm talking about is this one right here behind me. I think this one's gonna be absolutely mind-blowing, so why don't we take a quick walk around and see what we can figure out about this place. All right, guys, we're gonna start today's adventure just outside the front of the house here at the end of the driveway. I think we're gonna take a quick walk around the property, then we'll get inside, see what we can figure out about this place. Like I mentioned in the introduction, this place was built sometime in the 1950s, and from the looks of things, it's been sitting abandoned now for nearly a decade. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty cool one, so why don't we get a little closer and start looking at the finer details of this place. Right away, one of the things I have to point out to you guys, got big, beautiful trees at the end of the driveway here by the road, giving a little bit of a feeling of seclusion and privacy. Of course, as you walk into this one a little more, you can see how far back the property actually stretches. It looks like it goes all the way back into those trees back there. So it looks like this place has quite a lot of space to work with, although a lot of it is covered with trees. Something you don't see anymore. Places just do not have large properties anymore. Go towards the center of the house more so you guys get a better idea of what it looks like here. Go between the two trees. You can see it's a very interesting looking place. Very typical of that time period. Looks very simple from the front. You can see the shingles on the roof are in bad shape. Looks like it's been a long time since anybody's done any maintenance. I really like this little stone thing they did here. So they have like a little stone retaining wall, and the ground kind of goes up to a different level as you go to the front door, which is really neat. Of course, the place has a beautiful 1950s front door with that window. We'll definitely make sure we take a look at it inside. Now if we come over here, looks like down this side of the house they just have a bunch of junk. We'll take a look though. So they have the oil tank there for the heating system. You got a side entrance, got a fireplace obviously. It looks like they have a lot of windows here that might be original to when they built this home. Even the basement ones. So it'd be kind of cool to look into that a bit more. See if we can figure out. Well, they even had a big tree here at the side of the house at one point in time. That stump is huge, but it's absolutely rotting away. It's been probably 20 or 30 years since that tree was actually alive. Of course, looking back out to where we started the video out there, you can see they've got about 30, 40 feet to the road. Fairly decent sized front yard, but it's really beautifully wide as it goes over to that fence over there. So it's a great space. So we'll start walking around the side here. Looks like there's a bit of a stone pathway, so we'll follow that. You know, we'll check this out first too. So this is how you would get to the front door. You can see the windows in bad shape. Actually looks like somebody might have shot it with a BB gun or something. Got a root from a tree there. I'll show you the front door. It's a pink front door. But there's that beautiful window I was talking about. Very typical 1950s door. All right, so why don't we show you the front of the property here from up here. It's a big, beautiful front yard, really. All right, so we'll work our way around the back. You can see the mailbox is just sitting there on the ground. Somebody's knocked it over or time has had its effect on it. It's quite a cool looking place from this side. It's a deep house. Let me go a little further into the yard so you can see it a little better. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a very cool looking place. Looks like they have dormers upstairs, so maybe they converted the attic space into bedrooms or something. I'm liking this. Let's see what's over here. So they have another deck going into the house here at the side. It's a very cool bay window there. Where does this walkway take us? Takes us down to the backyard. I guess we'll go check it out. Hopefully it's not too mushy. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, the yard seems to go all the way back to that shed back there. Or actually, that might be for next door. But you can see it definitely goes back in there. Lots of trees. Feels like it's in the middle of the country, even though it's not. Really, we're in the city. You can see there's a lot of water. We had a ton of snow. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know. And all that snow is now melted and is gone. But yeah, this backyard would have been very secluded, very private at one time. One of the coolest features, though, of this house has to be the greenhouse on the back side here. It's pretty neat. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Any house with a greenhouse is cool to me. I think greenhouses are amazing to have. It's obviously a good thing to be able to grow your own vegetables and fruits. So this is pretty neat. It looks like they had a pretty decent setup out here. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all the dilly-dallying we're going to do out back here today. I think it's time we get inside, figure out what we can about this place. All right, guys, we're going to start this one just inside the front door of this place. Already, just from standing here, I don't even know what to say. My mind is kind of blown. I think this one's going to be very, very interesting. So I hope you guys strap in because this is going to be quite an adventure. Right away, one of the things I have to point out to you guys, and I think this is going to be a weird house because of this. It would appear that they never finished this house. The drywall isn't finished in this room, and this drywall is not new drywall. This is like 1950s or 60s drywall. But it's never been finished. It's never been taped. I really don't understand it. And as I turn around, this living room space over here is the exact same way as is the space over there. So that's very strange. But right away, I got to point out to you guys, they got that beautiful front door. We were looking at this outside. Love the pie-shaped windows there, the pie-sliced windows. You got the crystal doorknobs. Of course, this door looks out front where we just were just a couple of minutes ago. But yeah, this place is going to be interesting. You can tell. When you look around, they got some curtains hanging in here. They still even have the labels on them from the store. When they bought them 72 years ago. So, very strange. Like, you can even see the closet here. It's roughed in. Like, you can see the 2x4s are exposed. They never even finished putting drywall on the outside. And look, this is very old. Look at it. Look at the writing on it. Like, they don't make drywall that looks like that anymore. The drywall in this closet is probably newer because the sheets are about 4 feet wide. You can see it's just a roughed-in hanger and everything else. And it's been like this for a long time because, look, you got water stains throughout the area on the ceiling and everything, staining the crap out of this drywall. Wow. So if we go this way here, this takes us to the kitchen, which I think we'll check out in a minute because we got to cover this room here. So why don't we go into this room? I'm going to call this like the family room because I think that's what it should be. It would seem to be that's what it is. Again, just like the room we were just in, the entryway, none of the drywall is finished. None of it's taped. It's never been painted. It's just kind of the way it is since they did it. You still have the original windows there. One of the glass panes is sitting on the ground there. But as I turn around, you got the same kind of curtains as the other room. These curtains are probably actually a little bit newer, I would think. They look like 80s curtains with the flowers. But the actual draw curtain that goes across the window, that looks like it's original to when they built the house. There's another window pane sitting there. And again, as I look around, you can see everything's stained, like a lot of water damage has happened here. Wow. And this is how I know this is old drywall. It's very thin. I mean, it's not ½ inch. It's about a little bigger than a 1/4 inch, a little thicker than a 1/4 inch. And you can see that's how they got that curved entryway there. Pretty neat. Be a lot harder to do with modern day drywall, I'll tell you that. If you look at the floors, you can see they have the decking type flooring. It's made from like, I wouldn't say 2x6s, but it's something close to a 2x6. So the house flooring looks like something from the 50s. And you've got this laminate graphic stuff that's supposed to look like a rug on this floor in here. And of course, this room too. It's also very unfinished. Looks like they roughed in a door at one point and then covered it over. And you've got this really tacky looking brass chandelier hanging in this room. Perhaps this was a dining space. I don't know. You guys tell me. I mean, that archway is beautiful. If this room was done properly, this would be beautiful. But I'm having a little trouble figuring out the layout here. I mean, maybe this room here was the dining room. Maybe that was the entry room. But this one has the chandelier with the tongue and groove drywall ceiling. So I don't know. I'm thinking this is the dining room. You guys can argue that out in the comments or let me know what you think. They do have some beautiful French doors going to this next room here. But you can see they never even put the doorknob on them. Like, that's how unfinished this place is. Really, really weird. Okay, so we go in here. Oh, that's neat. Look at the old fishing rod. Little old fly fishing rod. Got some old cedar shutters here. And I guess they would have been for this bay window. This is what the bay window we saw outside looks like inside. It's not very tall, but it's a nice big window letting in lots of light. Of course, you got a nice shutter there too. And strangely, they did a little bit of hackwork in here and hung some blinds from the ceiling too. So if the shutters weren't enough, you got the blinds to pull down. Of course, they have a ceiling fan hanging in here. You got some pegboard there, and I'll just kind of turn around and show you. So that's where we started the video. You go through these two doors here, and you're going back out to this dining space or whatever this is. And there's Ethan standing where we started the video, of course. Guys, make sure you check him out in the description. His link is always there. Support my people. So we'll go back into this room here. And again, this room isn't finished by any stretch of the imagination either. You can see they did some, laminate tile flooring. So, that's decent, I guess. But as you turn around, I'll kind of just pan and show you the walls. This is just plywood. This is just laminated wood. And they've covered the walls with that. Even the ceilings. You can see it's literally just nailed up there. So all this, I don't think this was the final vision for the place. I mean, I like how they have the tile landing at the bottom of the window here, the tile ledge. But yeah, I don't think the vision for this place was to have stained plywood as the finished result. You can see they had a couple of diamond-shaped pictures or something hanging there at one point. Yeah, this is a really, really strange place so far. I like this. I like how they have this bookshelf or whatever. Oh, this looks into the kitchen. All right, well, that's kind of interesting, but I mean, that's a little bit intricate. I'm sure they did this themselves with probably a jigsaw. But hey, at least they tried to make the place look a little fancy. So we go over here. Oh, there's a door right there. You know what? Where does this door go to before we go any further? Oh, okay. This door is the side porch of the house. Okay, yeah. So we walked down there earlier. We walked around the front of the house this way. But yeah, you can see there's the bay window there. It's a beautiful spring day. Okay, we'll back in and close this behind me. All right, that's cool. So we've gotten both doorways and entryways to the house covered. Now you guys understand the layout. So we go back to this area here. And I guess at some point this became the main entry of the house. You've got your stairs going upstairs. You've got this entryway here, which obviously, this could have been an addition or something at one point maybe. But this is obviously another way into the house where, actually, you know what? This probably wasn't like a laundry room. This was probably more like, this is more like a hangout type of area maybe. I don't know. This house is weird. You guys tell me, what's that room for? But yeah, I think this would eventually have become the main way into the house. It kind of makes more sense to me just from how it would be, you'd get to it if you drove into the driveway. They had a nice big window at the side here, letting in lots of light, of course. But even here, you can see, there's the drywall that you can see throughout the front portion of the house where it's not finished. And you can see they just covered it over with that wood paneling, the cheap wood paneling. So this drywall that we saw that was exposed is definitely from when they first built the place. So as we turn around here, you've got a bunch of doors, so we're gonna have to check out all those. You've got stairs that go upstairs here. You've got a room over here to my right, so why don't we check that first, and then we'll start working our way in. Over here, it looks like this could have been a bedroom. Doesn't really look like there's much else explanation for what this room would be. It's very basic. You got your carpet, very basic baseboards. You've got a closet with like what looks like a ladder there, but it doesn't go up to anything. But again, you got that drywall that's the same as everywhere else. Very original to the one the house would have been built. And probably the best feature of this room is the two large windows, letting in lots of light. Of course, they have a retro lamp up there, but nothing to write home about. So as we come back out, this will take us back to the main area of the house here. The stairs, of course, are to my right here, where Ethan's going right now. So why don't we work our way over to the kitchen, since we didn't look at that. Let's see what we can figure out there. You can see, by the way, that lamp is curved, or the blades are curving on that fan, that this place has been sitting for quite some time. Very interesting bookshelf they built into the house at the side of the stairs. I like how they make use of all the places that you could use for storage in these types of houses. Spindles to kind of separate the shelves, kind of neat. You've got an old TV entertainment unit here. This is probably something from the, I would say, 80s, sometime in the 80s. It's a little bit smaller, so TVs would have been smaller by that time. They wouldn't have been sitting on the floor. There's another great entryway. I like the shape of that door opening to the kitchen. So why don't we go check it out? You can see the kitchen has laminate tile too. Actually, this might be that asbestos tile. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh yeah. So that's what the bookshelf looks like from inside the kitchen. It looks like they never finished it, to be honest. It looks better from the other side. But yeah, it looks like they didn't really get anything done. It looks like something's been scraping at the drywall or eating it. Maybe they had animals doing that in here. It's kind of interesting they put round molding around the ceiling in the kitchen though. Look at that. Goes throughout. Even goes around the cabinets. So they tried to be fancy when they could. And we got a calendar here. December 2015. That's 9 years ago. That's crazy. Very long time to be empty. I did mention outside, I figured it'd be about 10 years abandoned, so, you know, that's pretty good. Pretty good guess. Okay, so yeah, from here you can see the front door that we started the video at. I'll just zoom in and show you. But look at this retro wallpaper running throughout the kitchen here. This is very 60s wallpaper. Very groovy looking stuff with the flowers and the orange and all those colors. Well, they even covered the range hood with wallpaper. These people were wallpaper fanatics. It's kind of a large kitchen. The layout's a little strange, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, as I back up here, you can see like you've got a lot of counter space and a lot of cabinet space, but for some reason, instead of you know, utilizing the shape of the kitchen a little better, it kind of comes out in the middle here. Kind of like an island, but not. But you could see the all the cabinetry, very original to when they built the house. It's gonna be empty, I'm sure. Yeah, everything will be empty here, so we won't bother digging. But you can see everything's very old, very original. You got the original hardware. The lining in there matches the wallpaper, which is wild. You got a sink that's got turds in it. It's a yellow sink, which is kind of neat. But of course, the sink is one of my favorite features of a home because it's sitting in front of a window. Not exactly looking at the big, beautiful backyard. It's kind of looking at the neighbor's house. But still, a sink by the window is a plus. At least you got something to look at where you're washing or prepping, and that's cool with me. You look up there, you've got the fake iron glass window where the light's tucked away there. And what's cool here, the cabinet hanging in the middle is actually double-sided, so you can access whatever's in it from either side. Most likely they had cups, dishes, things like that would make sense to get from both angles. So as we turn around here, where that fan is, I guess that's where the kitchen table would have been. And like I said, as we turn this way, and you go this way, it takes us back to the front room here that's completely unfinished, where the front door is. It's just so weird seeing a place this old unfinished. How could people live like this? It's very weird. But yeah, look at those floors. They're in rough shape. Lots of chunks are missing out of them. Of course, the oven's not here anymore, and the fridge is not here anymore, so we're not going to be able to enjoy the sights and smells of a disgusting fridge. Of course, you have the oven temperature guide there from Dominion. That's going way back if you're Canadian. Oh, you know what I just noticed? I guess the cabinets were starting to fall off the wall, so they supported them with a 2x4 on the countertop. That's intuitive. All right, so we'll go this way. Looks like we got a bathroom here on the left. This bathroom is very much stuck in time. Look at those cabinets, the countertop. Looks like the faucet and the sink are actually a little bit newer. That looks like an 80s faucet. Even the light, the vanity light here looks a little bit newer. But the medicine cabinet's definitely probably original when they built this place. It's very neat to see. The switch plate covers are a little bit fancy. Got vines growing on them. And of course you got the swan wallpaper in here, so you know that's probably something from the 80s. Wallpaper's more of an 80s thing, especially when they tried to get artistic like that. I guess that iron glass was in the window at one point. Look at that rack there, that's crazy. Of course you got the, I think that's blue or maybe it's lavender. I don't have my glasses. You guys tell me, but I think that's baby blue. You can see that's an original tub. Probably the only thing that's newer in here are the tiles with the graphics. And the sliding door is obviously probably newer because it's brass. But the hardware looks pretty old to when they probably built the house. What we got back here, you got a hidden door. Oh, look at that. Even in here, it's unfinished. You got a closet in the washroom. It's got different drywall than the rest of the house, but you can see it's old enough they were still nailing it up. And of course up there, you got a little bit of storage up there as well. I'm not sure what you would hide up there. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting bathroom. You see the brown bomber was not here. That's also a modern toilet. Huh. All right, so this takes us back out to the front room here. We'll go to our left. See what rooms are over here. So down there is the dungeon. We'll check that last. And over here is a very, this is very retro. This room looks purple to me. And it looks like it's got the matching carpet. Good Lord. Look at that light. You can see it's been a long time since anybody's been here or cleaned the place. That light is just covered in dust. And of course, the black mold is starting to take over in here. Interestingly, this room had one curtain running the length of two walls to cover these windows. So you got this window here. You got this window over here. But look at this. They used like a hospital curtain to curtain off the windows. It goes all the way around the room. Why have two curtains when you can have one gigantic one, I guess? But that flooring is just, that's retro, and that's not retro in a good way. So the closet here has got, it's got the nice doorknobs on the closet door. Oh, interesting. Oh, again, it's roughed in, not really finished. They just painted the drywall, and they put some shelving in here. The House of Hackwork. This is what this is becoming real quick. And of course, they have a print here that probably has sat here since they left this house, and it's slowly falling apart. Interesting. All right, so that's the basement there. We're going to do that last. Let's work our way upstairs and see what's up there first. Look at this carpet. This carpet is absolutely horrific. It's got every color that shouldn't be in a carpet. And to top it off, it's got a pile of raccoon crap. So, let's not step or fall in that. Oh, wow. Oh, look, there's even, look at that. Okay, that's cool. So there's wallpaper up there. I don't know why it's open. Let's go up here. You see the stairs are a bit of rough shape. Oop, I got caught on something. Again, it looks like animals or something have tried to claw through this. Weird. So at the top of the stairs, you got, like a dresser cabinet. I guess this is where they would have put their linens or blankets or extra clothes. You got some drywall at the very top of wallpaper at the very top of the stairs. Kind of decorating things. You got a retro light there. But of course, like much of this house, as I turn around and show you, exposed, unfinished drywall. Just wild. So to the right of the stairs, we got a bedroom or something up here. Very tacky wood paneling. Probably 60s or 70s wood paneling, I would guess. It's got a nice window looking out to the side. And you got another window looking to the backyard here. Of course, this room has a couple of built-in dressers, as well as a little workspace. That's pretty neat. Never seen a built-in desk like that before. So I presume this was probably a kid's room. It even has a little step there. And that's pretty neat too. Got a little baby carriage. I'm assuming that's a toy one for a kid to play with their dolls or something, but still that's pretty neat to see. Again, there's lots of turds on the floor. Got an old newspaper here from 1989, November 25th, 89. Oh, okay. So this is the closet here. That's the hole looking down to the stairs. So this was what we could see when we were looking up there. And I could see the wallpaper. Interesting. And of course the ceiling is very typical of something you'd see in the 50s. This house pretty much hasn't really changed since they built it. Well, they never even really finished it. Like, look at that. Something ate the trim around the door right up. Like, that's crazy. Maybe they locked their pets in here or something. Even out here. You go in here and you've got this blue shag that looks like the stairs. I guess it's like aqua shag because it's got blue and green and all sorts of weird colors. This room has a couple windows letting in light, which is good. Good amount of window space in this room, and as I turn around, it's very much like the theme of upstairs. The north wall, or whatever wall this is, has built-in dressers. You got some storage cabinets here with shelving in them. That one actually has a hole into the attic there. Matchbox team. All right. Yeah, it's pretty neat. There's not a whole lot to see here. You got a little kid's hockey stick left behind, though. Look at that. The old Coho wood stick. When's the last anybody seen a wood hockey stick? Looks like we got another bedroom. Oh, this might be a closet or something. Look at that. You got an old cot sitting here. Still got boxes of the ceiling tiles. That's wild. So they kept all the pieces they cut just in case they needed more. But yeah, you can see this is a closet, hastily set up closet. You got a hook in the wall with looks like a gas pipe or a water pipe as the rod to hang things from. Of course, as you look at the floor, linoleum flooring, nothing too hot, but very dated looking. And they got an old door up here. This is kind of neat. I like how they have the old door with the mail slot going into the closet. Salvaged it. Wow. So this is where all their belongings are, I guess. Look at this. We kind of got stuff left behind everywhere. I don't know if it's a bunch of good stuff, but there's stuff here. So we'll just kind of show you guys. I'm not going to go ripping through it in case I put my finger in poo again. Don't need that happening. It's a cool little cabinet there. Somebody's old shoe. Look, they even have a polo set back there. Look how old that magazine is down there. Wow, yeah, there's lots of stuff. You got an old lamp there. You got old comics. Woman's Day. You got like magazines just piled up. Wow. Birdcage. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here, but yeah, I'm not digging through this, unfortunately, for you guys. You guys get the quick look. Look at that. Family Circle, 1957, 1965, 1961. Wow. Got brand new lampshade. Of course, I got a nasty cobweb hanging in here. That's pretty neat. There's a lot of old newspapers and magazines up here. It would be kind of neat to go through it, but it would take forever. We don't have that kind of time, so sorry guys. Hopefully you're amused by what you saw, but that's all we're gonna dig today. Okay, why don't we work our way down to the basement, and I think we'll wrap this one up. So this is what it looks like going back down the stairs. Gotta watch out for this poo pile though. Just gross. That's not the Brown Bomber's work, I can tell you that. Is that an old milk jug? No, it's not. That would have been neat. Okay, so this takes us down to the basement. Hopefully it's safe to go down these stairs. You got wires everywhere. You got more magazines. We'll take a look at those as we pass them. Look at that. 1988, I think that says. So far I'm seeing a lot of wood paneling. It's very dated looking. Wow. Okay, so this is the basement here. Look at that, the windows actually flip in vertically. Kind of neat. But yeah, as you look around, you can see you got a lot of that classic cheap wood paneling. They actually tried to fancy it up a bit here. You can see that they tried to give it that tavern look by putting some wood trim along the ceiling. Obviously it didn't last, it fell down. Doesn't look too great. You see there's lots of mold and everything as well. But again, you got all sorts of, like Simpsons. Simpsons hasn't been around since like the early 90s. Like there's a lot of old newspapers and stuff in here. So we'll keep going in deeper. What do we have here? Okay, we'll go this way first. Oh wow, look at this. You got an old dresser or a night table. Look at this paper. Be the one first. 57 Pontiac. That's how old this is. There's an ad for a 57 Pontiac. Wow. Door is really moldy and gross. What we got over here? We got like little aquariums. Okay, so this is a very hastily thrown together storage area. You got an old Band-Aid stuck to the wall. Looks like you've got magazines in the back there, tucked away, and you've got like these aquarium pieces. Look at this, you just got like phone books and magazines and junk all over the floor. Just wild. What do we got here? You know what? Before we open this door. So over here, you got like a dresser or a cabinet. You know, it's like an armoire or something they turned into an armoire. It almost looks like a china cabinet converted into an armoire. That's really old though. It's really neat. Even the door down here, you can see it's a really old door. Originally it had some really old hardware on it. I almost said firmware. All right, so we're gonna go further in. So this is the laundry room space here. Again, you know, I gotta say, at least down here is finished, unlike upstairs. But yeah, they did finish it with this awful wood paneling that you would have seen in the 60s or 70s. Nothing too fancy, but I guess it's better than exposed drywall. Over here, you just have insulation on the wall. They didn't even finish it. It's just insulation foam. But look at this sink. I really like the laundry room sink. It's a nice big sink. Got an old school faucet that's kind of thrown together. But I like this cabinet and the vanity too. Like I like how it's got the tile countertop. And even though, you know, I think they did this themselves and it's kind of tacky, I do kind of like how unique the different color doors are. I think that's kind of cool. So let's go further in. This basement's really huge. Wow. So as we go further in, we got like another kitchen space down here. This is kind of wild. Look at that. You got sewage piping going down here, just kind of running along the wall to outside. Got a beautiful old kitchen sink. I don't like how the faucet is not centered on the sink, but that's a pretty cool looking old sink. And you can see all this cabinetry, everything down here is very much original to the time period this house would have been built. None of this looks newer than 50s to me, and most of it looks like it's never been cleaned. Obviously, this may have become a workbench area, or maybe this was like a kitchen workbench. I don't really know. I mean, obviously they have the sink here, so you can see the backsplash is like linoleum, and it's just breaking apart. You can also see it sweating like crazy. Look at that old paper towel holder. That's pretty neat. Wow. But yeah, you can see all the shelving's empty. Got a really old original window there, really dingy and gross with cobwebs. You got a motor there, probably from the furnace. And you got a chair for a very tiny guest. But yeah, this is quite neat. Kind of getting mixed up which way we came. Okay. Oh, we came from over here. Yeah, I am getting mixed up. Okay, so in here, it's getting confusing down here. It's very creepy and strange. So down here you got the furnace, so they're no longer using oil or propane for heat like they used to, like we saw that tank outside. Look at that old cabinet there with the glass doors. That's pretty neat. You can see they have the cinder block foundation, very typical of a 1950s home. And of course, if you look up, you can see they've got the decking style flooring. This water heater looks like it's from the early 2000s. Kind of goes along with the fact that nobody's been here in 10 years. And of course, you've got another entrance going out here. We'll go up the stairs and see. They got nails, they got shingle nails on the ground there. Some really cool old hardware there. And this, okay, yeah, this is on the neighbor side. We did see this when we were doing that walk around. So that's pretty neat too, but I'm not going to stand on those nails. So let's back down. You can see there's turds everywhere. Definitely a turd party has happened in this house. So let's go further in. Look at the cobwebs here. Gross. All right, so this is the shop. This is the cool part of the house. This is where all the stuff happened, all the little projects, all the maintenance related things. Look at this table with the foldable legs. You got another old paper here. 1955 newspaper. Looks like a clamp to take off an oil filter. Look at this shop bench over here. Drawers are falling out, full of junk and decay. You got another miniature chair here. And they got another oil tank here too for the old furnace, the original furnace. I don't believe the one that's in here now would have used that. Of course, one of the viewers like Tommy or John might correct me. Oh look, they even use like cedar shingle to cover up the hole underneath the floor there. Interesting. Still have original windows going outside. And the work area still has some stuff left behind. That's decaying away. You got a saw, a little bit of shelving for the stuff, and outlets and switches just kind of attached wherever. Yeah, it's definitely an original basement window. What's this? It's an old school desk. Very old school. It's a cool chest there. You can see a lot of this stuff is just random junk and stuff they've just kept around. That looks like a base for a light, maybe. Lantern. That looks like maybe a piece of an old sump pump, I think. I like this wall here. This is all cedar wood. This is nice. They should have had this instead of paneling throughout the house. I don't know what that is, but that looks nasty. So, yeah, even there they got cedar wood and a hanging basket. So we go in here and we've got the electrical room. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nasty. Ooh. Imagine that falling in your hair. Yeah, so in here, oh look, you got Walt Disney's Prairie. I don't know what that is, but that's old. You got some old newspapers lining the shelf here, it looks like. Yes, you do. A lot of them are barely legible now. But all these shelves are lined with old newspapers, so that's kind of neat, if you ask me. And of course, the wood is still cedar. You even got these cabinets here that are now open. Oh yeah, look, they used to have all their jarred items. I guess they canned a lot of vegetables and whatnot, and this is where they would have kept it all. You can see the remains of the newspapers they line these shelves with too. Some of them. So I'll just kind of pan so you guys can take a look. If you want to pause and try to read them, you can. As you get up, they get a little more decayed looking. Yeah. Interesting. Of course, you got the same drywall down here that was in that unfinished front room. And this is what this room looks like looking the other way. Coming back towards where we came from. Got some more storage here. Look at that. The doorknob's actually getting rusty. And they have obviously bottles and cans of stuff back here. Makeshift cabinets. Very neat. Unusually though, the weirdest thing about this house is, as old as everything is and as unrenovated as everything seems, the circuit breaker, it's almost brand new looking. Like this almost looks like it was installed within the last 15 years. So it's kind of shocking. Okay, why don't we work our way back to the front part of the basement there. I think we missed one area. And then I think we're going to wrap this one up. It's really creepy and gross down here, so I don't want to stay down here for too much longer. Oh, they have a curtain there too. Oh, I'll show you that. Yeah. So this is how they closed off that area. They just used a curtain. Wild. So as we go back this way, this is going to take us back to where we started the basement. So as I get over here, where did I come down? Oh yeah, we came down over here. So this is where we first came down again. Well, that's a neat wall sconce. I didn't notice that before. It's very rusty. There's one over there too. So let's go this way. This is the area of the basement we did not see. Look at that, you got like a dog bowl there. Again, more wood paneling. Looks like they were going to wood panel this. You can see they put the strapping on the cinder block to put it up. Never finished it. Got an old door sitting here. You can see that's a push door. Yeah, this room's just kind of, oh, I see what it is. I'll show you guys in a second. A lot of wood paneling, a lot of mold, some gross cobwebs. And of course, this room has a view of the greenhouse we saw earlier. But I know what this room is. This room was the workout room at one point in time. There's a nice chart of exercises. These are like the basic exercises you need to do. I think if you follow these, you'd be in pretty good shape and be pretty jacked. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Maybe there was a mirror on that wall at one point in time. Maybe that's why it's not finished. Or maybe it's not finished because they didn't like to finish things in this house. Look at that doorknob. That's very cool, very original to the time period this house was built. Okay, so I guess we'll check out this greenhouse from inside and then we'll wrap this one up. So we already kind of saw this, but now you've seen how the house exits to it. It's a cool little space. You can see there's windows there. They had the water run out here so you could water your plants. I would love to know what they had. Based on the fact that there's a lot of canning stuff in this house, I would imagine they grew a lot of their own vegetables and beets and things like that so they could can it. That'd be my guess. There's a newspaper from 1980 there. Yeah, pretty cool stuff if you ask me. Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap this one up. We've seen every inch of this place now. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one. This place was pretty much stuck in the 1950s, so it was a pretty cool surprise for me. And I really enjoyed sharing this one with you guys. If you guys enjoyed this adventure, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment afterwards, and of course, share this one out to help the video and the channel grow. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today's adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one with me. This was a really, really interesting place that was built way back in the 1950s. And as you can see from our tour here today, not only is this place stuck in the 50s, a lot of this place is still stuck in the construction phases. It's absolutely mind-blowing to think that people lived here when they never even finished the drywall in a good chunk of this house. Just an absolutely strange place with a really, really creepy basement. If you guys agree with me, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment about something you saw in this video, and of course, share this one out to help this thing grow and the channel grow. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button over there. Check out last week's video over there. Check out the random video up there, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.